Let's freaking go. Halftime show. My Wi-Fi went out again. So we're at a random gas station here, and we're going to break it all down for you in this second half. What does LSU need to do? I was able to listen to Brian Kelly do his halftime interview, both with Gordy Rush, and I have to say this: if you're LSU, you cannot let Jalen Milroe beat you with his legs, right? You've seen him miss some open throws, in particular at the end of the half. You have got to do a better job of spying him, squeezing down the pocket, make him beat you with his arm. Not one, not two, but 3 rushing touchdowns from Jalen Milroe in the first half, okay? I wasn't going to do a halftime show. I wasn't going to do a pregame show. Didn't do the pregame show. Wanted to switch it up a little bit, but I had to do a halftime show. So we'll be back to our regular scheduled pregame, halftime, and postgame shows. As Carvis points out, Javian Toviano is absolutely legit, okay? He is playing at an absolutely really good high level, and it makes you wonder where the heck has he been. Obviously, some mistakes mixed in there as well. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, and we won't do a late post game. We'll just do the post game right after the end of the game, okay? Because I am just too freaking fired up. Hopefully my Wi-Fi is working at the house. So I'm in a random parking lot, so let's get to it. So far in the first half, obviously, you take a look at the total yards. LSU is outgaining Alabama 323 to 290, 14-14 first downs, 21-21. What else can you expect? This is LSU versus Alabama. This is the true premier college football non-rivalry week game, and we're absolutely enjoying it. Obviously, you guys know how I feel about John Emery, okay? We'll get to your comments. So I've said my piece, okay? I'm not going to be able to put your comments up on the screen, so I'm going to answer as many as we possibly can. As Carvis points out, we left a lot of points on the field. Now, I do want to talk about that 4th down play call. I was fine with it. I was okay with going for it on 4th and 1. You got to be aggressive with the bad defense going up against a good offense on the road as an underdog. I was okay with it. Like the play call. Obviously, it was the Mason Taylor play, but it was a pivot route with BTJ. Good play by the DB. That's all there is to it. Okay, and they're making some plays too. This is LSU Alabama. 92 is an issue, though, defensively for them, right? Not to worry about Braswell. Not to worry about, obviously, Dallas Turner. Those guys are really good players. We've got to find a better way to deal with number 92 for them. His last name begins with the letter E. Let's go to Connor here. Refs are, as expected, playing lights out for Alabama. Yeah, the pass interference miss early in the first half. But like we said all week, if you watch PHL, you absolutely know this is true. You know. I don't care if I get hit by a car. I don't. This is for real for me. I don't know about y'all. This is for real. Okay? Devin says we should have run on that 4th and 1. I'm okay with letting Jaden decide it. I am, because obviously if nothing's open, he can run it. Obviously, our rollouts this year have not been the absolute best. I was just in front of this lady trying to back out. My apologies, lady. 2 bad calls by the ref, the blindside block, and no horse collar. Yeah, we can get into a debate about the blindside block rule. You just got to be careful right there, Aaron Anderson, towards the end of the half. Yes, Chet, I do this for you. I'm going to have to drive home. Hopefully my Wi-Fi is working. Let's move on for the 4th and 1 call. Once again, if you super chat and I miss it, I'm sorry. But we'll go to your super chats immediately, okay? Time of possession is pretty even, and we can complain all we want about the referees, but the penalties up to this point are pretty even. Now, you can't just go by total penalties, but the truth is, Jayden Daniels was special yet again in the first half. So we'll take it. What's up, Ty Chris? Good to see you. Don't forget, type Y for yes if you're going to be at the postgame show. Paris, good to see you. A few things I would do, okay, if I'm LSU. I wouldn't change too much up offensively. Guys, I've tried to tell you about Kyron Lacy. He is playing so much better right now. We can get into a debate about he should have had that ball early, but that was absolutely a massive catch. To score right before the end of half, okay? Thank you so much, Ethan, for your super chat, as did Ty Chris right here. Would you say the short passes are hurting the LSU defense? It seems like they kind of are. Okay, our LSU defense isn't good. It's just not good. This Bama offense is playing better. They've got athletes, okay? I'm okay with the short passes, Let's just not give up the 50-yard bombs. What I would do defensively, though, is I would try a few more twist stunts to the right side of the Alabama offensive line. Try that, and the guy who's twisting around, he needs to slow down his loop motion to make sure he does not lose contained responsibilities. What's up? Good to see you, Nola Grizz. It's a shootout, baby. This is what you expected. As we said all week, you should have bet the over when it was at 57. It got up to 61. And you should have bet LSU when it was at 6, when it got down to 3. We'll see what happens in the second half. JD5 winning a Heisman tonight. Absolutely. He's the best player on the field. It's not even close, right? LSU's got the best player at the best position on the field right now. Just give Jalen Milroe a lot of credit, too, for stepping up and making plays. I have absolutely no idea when the game is getting back on the screen, so you guys are going to have to let me know. We won't do the first drive, obviously, because, well, I want to go home to see if I can, I don't know, set up some kind of hotspot. Ty Chris wants to talk about Sage Ryan. Look, I would love for us to have a different option at this point. I would. But, folks, it's not the time right now to try new things, if you ask me. I'm okay with Sage just finishing this thing on out, but he does need to play better. Obviously, he almost went to Alabama. We can get into a debate about, him playing where he needs to play. Laura, good to see you. Sibley, let's go to Sibley. He was actually in Tuscaloosa earlier this year. BK gave him 7 with a short field. I was fine with going for it. We're going to get into a bigger debate about going for it at the end of the game, especially if LSU loses. But we're going to win this freaking game. We're going to freaking win this game. We're going to go to the national championship this year. Let's go. I need that Florida State rematch like I need air to breathe. Yeah, let's go. I need air to breathe. People are yelling at me. I'm about to get hit again. I'm about to go get a Mad Dog 2020. Colt 45. Give me a pack of Swishers. I don't care. I'm stressed out right now. Steven's at the game. Make sure you send photos. Let's go to BT. LSU needs to hire an elite DC and DB coach in the offseason. We'll worry about that when the time comes. A few other halftime adjustments that I would make if I were LSU. I think this is the youngest kid I think I've ever seen. This was probably a 5-year-old driving that car. Take Ovo for Womack and spy Perkins. Josh, I think that's what they're going to have to do. You've got to spy Harold Perkins at this point. Or at least try to show him. Show that Harold Perkins is out there, and he is actually a guy who can run down Jalen Milroe. I would at least show a little bit more of that. Some of these runs Milroe has made are just really freaking good, and the good news is we don't face another dual-threat quarterback like him for the rest of the season, so that's a good thing. Yeah, Michael B., I'm at some random gas station because my Wi-Fi went out. It'll be back on. I got an alert, so here we go. Let's go to Black Goatee. Not the Mad Dog 2020. Very big crowd for tonight's halftime show. Of course, big Chris, because we do it big. Because we have built this community together, and I better see you at the post-game show. Once again, we are going to go right after the end of the game. I was going to do it a little bit later, and because that's how we did it last year. But I don't care about last year. It's this year. Let's go to Danny Gore. Why is the ball being snapped so low? Anyone else notice this? Yeah, not the best half for Charles in the first half. You want to know why the ball was getting snapped low? Because he's going up against better players. That's all there is to it. We have really struggled going up against the best of the best defensive tackles when it comes to the middle of our offensive line. But overall, I would give the LSU offensive line in the first half, I'll give them a solid B. It could be better. It's not as good as it was last year, but they are on the road. It is loud. The atmosphere is lit. All those words, whatever. Paul says he's going to run late for work. What, work? A job? Tonight? They ran the running back out the field to take Harold Perkins away. Yeah, they're doing a good job just trying to, take him out of the game. Still waiting for, one of those patented, big Harold Perkins plays in the second half. I think it's coming. Okay? I would like to see some Womack, though. Maybe some fresh legs can help us get a little bit more speed on the field. Obviously, not having Wingo in this game, it hasn't been the biggest issue. How much difference would Wingo and Alexander make up to this point? Obviously, a big difference because they're two really solid players for us, but we got to worry about what's on the field right now. Okay? Now, next thing I would do if I were LSU, I've mentioned twisting our fronts a little bit more. Another thing I would do if I'm LSU in the second half is you don't need any trick plays, but be ready for it for Alabama to try something out of the ordinary, okay? Another thing, we could talk all we want about Brian Kelly's 4th-1 decision, which was the right one. Thank God he deferred to the second half. Thank God. Because we got 2 extra possessions in theory out of it, right? We got the last possession of this half, and we also got the 3 and out. Anytime you get an early 3 and out and you get the football and you get an early lead, good ball to Malik Neighbors, that's obviously a really good thing. Omar has looked bad, moved Sage into the box. Yeah, that would not be a good idea. Obviously, if we put Sage Ryan at backer, they would just run on us. But maybe get exotic and show them. Make them have to run the football. I don't know. I've shared my adjustments. We'll see what Matt House could do in the second half. I think this could be a second half for his job. Matt House and the DB coaches as we look into this, okay? Luke says we got to take more deep shots. Disagree, right? Jaden's doing a good job cooking in the intermediate. They're giving BTJ and Malik some of these simple outs. Let's keep taking them, right? They're afraid of Jaden Daniels' deep balls, right? Pause. So there we go. Let's go to Max here. He says, put our pass rushing personnel on the field. Leave Harold Perkins' QB spy all game, but let them play a mid-zone at the same time. Yes, I think at this point, you kind of just have to play zone because he is running so unbelievably well. Ethan, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, put Whit Weeks in. I have been clamoring for Whit Weeks to play more. But I understand Omar Spades, Greg Penn, the experience. Good. Chili says, deploy the Johnny Manziel defense. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have, Barrow and Eric Reed and all those guys. But still, I will say this, Milroe is faster than Manziel. He's not better, but he is faster. Okay, let's get a few more in. Obviously, second half, I'm guessing it's starting pretty soon. There are so many pickup trucks in this lot just driving really freaking fast right now. But this is where I need to get. This is where I need to be with you. With you! Okay? Skipper, okay, yeah, we could talk all we want about making some coaching changes. But Omar's had a rough half. Right? Obviously, our linebackers aren't the fleetest of foot. And I think some of that could be the injury, right? The hip issue he's had all year. Let's see. What would you guys do offensively different? Is there anything you would do offensively different? Obviously, Jaden's been amazing, right? Jaden has just been one of the best, QBs, and I think if he does pull this out, obviously it just depends on everything else that's happening in the college football world. I'm not really paying attention. I'm only paying attention to this game. 10 of 16 for 164, 8 carries for 137. BK mentioned at halftime to Gordy that, he would have liked to seen his run blocking be a little bit cleaner. But still, we knew Bama, their run defense is really good. Okay? Chili says, try Caleb Jackson. Yeah, he's got 1 catch for a yard. Okay? We tried it. Let's see if we get up to touches right now. Pierce said target BTJ over the middle. Yeah, you can tell Bama is just so afraid of what we can do deep with our passing attack right now. Skipper says Jaden's arm is not doing well. I disagree. I mean, it's not been his Mississippi State sharpest level, but Brian Kelly mentioned at the half that he felt that the line, he felt that the week off hurt because they're rusty, obviously, going into this game. So I think we will be sharper. Sipper says, let Lacey play both ways. Lacey would be the absolute perfect corner. But that's just not the case. Not Logan's best half, though. Obviously not Logan's best half. So maybe try Caleb. Maybe try Josh a little bit more. Remember, Josh is the reason why we won this game last year. Okay? So Jaden's playing fine, right? Let's see. it's kind of hard to pick anything at Jaden right now. Let's go to Laura here. Laura, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support over the years, Laura. I just got an alert that you've been supporting me for a while. Appreciate that. Let's go, pushing P. Let's keep it going. Type Y for yes. You're going to be at the post-game show. Type Y for yes. Okay. Yeah, I think you could. I think you could put Josh. I think you can put Josh in and give him a few extra carries. So there we go. Let's get a few more in here. Y'all don't know. As you can see, I'm stressed out, man. I want it so bad for Jaden. I really do. I mean, there's a few players I've loved more than him. Really wanted for Jaden's team, his camp, everything he's been through. And, I love him no matter what, how this game unfolds. Malik and all those guys. This is their last game versus Alabama. Brock says Bama holds on every play. Yeah, this is the thing. When you're on the road, you just don't get the holding calls to go your way. It seems to me when you're on the road, the holds don't go your way, right? The Tennessee game that Bama played, the holds really went their way. Kevin says they are losing gap integrity. Yeah, I mean, that's something that, we mentioned, and that's something that probably needs to get addressed. Let me know what you guys think about Jefferson and the defensive line in the first half. But at this point, you've got to mush rush Milroe at this point, okay? Let's go to Ethan. If the defense stops Bama 2 or 3 more times, LSU wins. The good thing is LSU gets the football first. Ryan Kelly might watch PHL. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me if BK knows who PHL is. On Thursday night, I dedicated a whole stream to the one thing that I would do if I was Brian Kelly, and that's defer to the second half. So, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. 7 or 9 on third downs. Michael P., this is why I'm here. This is what I do, man. I only get to do this because of you guys. Your super chats, when you guys tune in, the subscriptions. A lot of you follow me on Twitter now. That's cool. I didn't think freaking Elon Musk liked me. But we're close to 2K followers on Twitter, and I'm horrible at Twitter. Normally we're live on Twitter and Facebook. We're only live on YouTube because of my situations. Okay. Where's my LSU shirt at, Todd? I'm dressed nice, baby. Dressed to the nines. No, I actually just kept this on. I don't know why. I don't know why. I didn't change into my PHL shirt. For you, though, Todd, I will change for the second half. Just for you, Todd. I didn't know you cared so much about my wardrobe. Yeah, it is kind of important. We'll talk about this, and obviously, Sibley in the in the post game. Florida coming off a loss, right? And it kind of concerns me going into LSU lane next week because they still got to win one to go bowl eligible. Okay. Carl already talked about my defensive adjustments. Let's see. Yeah, Mason does probably need to play a little bit better. You guys have got to let me know when the second half starts so I can go home, okay, and be ready for the post game. All right, so second half has started. Thank you guys so much. Thanks to all our top super chatters. I think it was Laura and a lot of you super chat. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Ethan had the most super chats. I can't see how much it actually was, so I really appreciate it. All right, we'll see you in the second half. I need some energy in the chat right now. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom. Let's go, Jaden. Let's cook. Let's go. Let's go.